Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin bubble news channel. The Federal Reserve and all the other central banks got rid of left tail risk, which I think is a really important thing. I'm annoyed that it took me so long to understand this. What did they do? Devalue the money. What did it do? Make the prices of assets go up, so the collateral went up. They said that debt deflation is not possible. We will not let it happen, and to pay for it, the value of the currency will drop by 8% a year. If the left tail is taken away, everything on this debt refinancing is linked, and they have to debase the currency over time to do it. This could be the best chance in history to take a big risk. Based system into the exponential age, a future where high-tech innovations like AI and robots are made at amazing speeds and change every part of our lives. When this age fully blooms around 2030, Pal thinks that worries about debt or GDP will not matter anymore because these innovations will make people infinitely more capable and make them much more productive. All the GDP that is available is being used to help the private sector. Debts. About all of GDP and debt come from the private sector. Let's say that interest rates have been about 2% on average, and that the US's GDP has been growing at a rate of 1.75% per year. Paying off bills is pretty much the only new business in the economy. The government owns all of the debt and GDP. What does that do? What does that do? That can be turned into money. Since people are living longer, GDP growth is only possible with a magic formula. This is very easy to understand, but every economist forgets it somewhere along the way. It's like population growth, economic growth, and debt growth all add up to GDP growth. The future is being stolen by rising debt. In 2008, we blew that up. Service of old bills is now the only thing that adds to debt. More people, more work, more money. You can figure out what will happen in the future based on population growth. It's not getting any more crowded in the West. It keeps getting smaller and smaller. We know we have a population time bomb. So how do we figure out GDP when it keeps going down every year? Also, work has not been getting done at all. Why? Because old people get a lot done. Nothing. It's not hard to understand this. Then you look into the future and ask, okay, how can we stop this? Because if this keeps up, this whole thing will keep going on in this strange world of cycles and debasement. For real, it's about tech. It's about AI and how there are an endless number of robots. It's still not clear to most people how Amazon went from having 250,000 robots to having 3.7 million robots in just 3 years. It will soon be more productive than Amazon's staff of people, and these things are 3 to 10 times faster. We are replacing humans who are getting old with AI and robots that can do anything. That takes that magic formula and makes it look silly. What? We can have an endless number of people. On the other hand, having an endless number of robots and AI means using an infinite amount of electricity and computers. Figure out how everyone solved the power part. That is getting things done. Again, productivity, I love the mid-curve spin twist take on this move. The Europeans have no idea what they're doing. They are spending a lot of money on the silly story of better energy. They know that what they are doing is driving down the cost of capital into new ideas that will lower the cost of energy. This is because, thanks to fossil fuels, electricity costs have been stable over the years. We haven't made much work on that yet, but we can. Moore's law has been proven to work in electric vehicles, solar panels, wind turbines, geothermal heat pumps, and finally nuclear power plants. There is more than enough energy for us. It only takes time and money to buy the right technology for things like storage, delivery, and so on. The Europeans are putting a lot of money in. A lot of people don't know what the Chinese have been doing. The Chinese now have 40% of their cars that run on electricity. Because of this, the price of energy is going down, so think about the magic trick. People are going to live in cities forever, and the price of power is going to drop by 75% in the next 10 years. You don't need that increase because it's over the top. This can be fixed without anything else. In the 1950s, right after World War II, we had the same thing happen with the crash of 1929, which was a lot like 2008, World War II. The outbreak is a good idea. After a break, everyone goes back to work. Everything about the story makes sense to us. But what they really did was keep the yield curve in check and then let production pick up. What do they have now that they don't need the robots? These people are the main boomers. Like us, they were all born in the 1950s. But they're babies now, right? It's the same with AI. It felt like the world's population grew by about 30%. Nope, everything worked out in the end. GDP went up, output went up, and the world was solved. We're going to follow the same rules again. FinTwit would rather tell you that they should stay out of the way and let everything run its course. That is something that no one can understand. When the world owes 350% of its GDP, what does that really mean? Are we going back to the Middle Ages? Does that mean we stop all trade around the world? That won't be done by anyone. And I kind of get it if not doing that costs 8%. I'll take that using the every lane code because I know where to invest and can cover that cost, which is acceptable. I think we've talked about this whole banana zone a few times. For people who don't know what we're talking about, could you just explain that? Then tell me how that links to where you think we are in the price cycle right now, etc. So Julian Battel and I used the phrase kind of in the fourth quarter of 2016, we said, hey, listen, liquidity is picking up. The pre-election cycle usually goes crazy, then it was called banana zones, and that was on the front cover of Global Macro Investor. Then we realized that the big banana zone is in the summer and the fall, and then you see that beautiful Bitcoin chart. It goes up and down every cycle, and you think, that just looks like a banana. The banana zone says it all. It seems like a banana and moves like one. Because it looks like a phallus, it's funny and can be used as a joke. Like I said, the banana is the color yellow, and our goals and dreams are all wrapped up in that big yellow candle. You're done with the cash cycle, also known as the everything code cycle. This is how you use the Bitcoin half cycle. I don't do it myself, but it works the same way. Everything is there, this is the point, and it's all in that yellow fruit. Don't be afraid of sell-offs, instead, look forward to them. Think about it this way, someone gives you a machine that makes money grow, and you get to use it. For example, let's say the price of Bitcoin goes up to 200,000 and then down to 70,000. You get to try again. That's pretty much a gift. Anson said it on Twitter, and he's totally right. Every 4 years they give us this gift that turns out to be the worst performing asset and lets us make another 20, 30, or 40 times as much money. In that case, you can say, hey, I'm in this for the long haul. It looks like I'll stay in this direction for the rest of my investing life. I'll take money out and do other normal things. But this is how I'm saving now, just like you do with your 401,000. You should be very excited and be thinking, how can I hold as much cash as possible in 2025 and 2026? You can play Chris Berniski online, which shows that he was dead on. He had saved up money and done it. Anyway, I was still rushing to add them all, and I did it all in the end, but I didn't have a big cash file to use. People might say, yeah, but that's why you sell out of the top, which makes me wish I had. Do not do that. You can sell some, but the best thing to do is to buy cheap ones as soon as you see them. After that, you won't have to worry about hitting the load. Because you don't have enough money in the market, strange things happen. In other words, it's not being afraid of things. It is excited about things. You can stop being afraid of something if you face it and make it your friend. There is a mental trip that can help with anything in life. A lot of people live with their fears. Fuck, am I going to make as much money as I want? They think as they lie in bed. Will the banana happen? Then will I lose everything? Okay, because they don't think far enough ahead. They don't have any ideas about what it might be. They aren't asking themselves,